In today's hyper-stimulated world, every second is designed to deliver a hit of dopamine. Likes, clicks, notifications, videos, reels, snacks, even background music. But stacking too many of these stimuli isn't just exhausting, it's rewiring your brain in ways you didn't sign up for. This isn't about demonizing technology or fun. It's about understanding what happens when we constantly combine multiple dopamine sources, consciously or unconsciously, and how that's impacting our brain's reward system. So let's break this down scientifically. What is dopamine? Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, often called the feel-good chemical, but that's oversimplified. Its real role is in motivation, learning, and reward anticipation. It's what gets you to pursue goals, enjoy novelty, and stay curious. It spikes when you experience something pleasurable, or even when you anticipate it. But here's the key. Dopamine isn't just about reward. It's about pursuit. This means that our motivation is directly tied to how our dopamine system is being stimulated and regulated. The problem: dopamine stacking refers to the process of layering multiple pleasurable activities at once, each triggering dopamine spikes. Think eating junk food while binge-watching Netflix and scrolling social media during breaks. Or working with multiple tabs open, music on, snacking, checking notifications, all while replying to emails. Each one might feel harmless, but together they amplify the dopamine load on your brain's reward system, creating unsustainable highs followed by inevitable lows. Over time, this overstimulation leads to desensitization. What used to excite you now feels dull. That's when burnout, boredom, and brain fog kick in. Research 1. A 2023 study from Stanford University's Department of Psychology found that multitasking across high dopamine digital platforms correlated with reduced baseline dopamine receptor sensitivity. Participants reported decreased motivation and higher reward thresholds within 2 weeks. This means the more you stack, the more your brain gets fried. Why your brain can't keep up. The human brain wasn't designed for this level of constant stimulation. It evolved in environments where dopamine spikes were rare and tied to meaningful actions, like hunting, discovering new territories, or social bonding. Now, you can get multiple dopamine hits per minute. But without time to recover, your brain doesn't reset. Instead, it adapts by dialing down dopamine sensitivity. This is why once fun activities stop being exciting, and why you need more stimulation just to feel normal. Research 2. A 2024 meta-analysis published in Nature. Neuroscience revealed that individuals who habitually engage in 3 or more concurrent dopamine-releasing behaviors showed significantly reduced activity in the ventral tegmental area, the brain's core motivation hub. Translation: your motivation circuitry is under siege. Symptoms of dopamine overload: mental fatigue despite doing nothing, boredom with previously enjoyable activities, inability to focus without stimulation, constant craving for novelty, lack of motivation to complete simple tasks. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. This is a modern phenomenon, and it's affecting millions. Is it addiction? Not quite. This isn't about addiction in the traditional sense. Dopamine stacking is more subtle. It's not one substance, it's a cocktail of micro-stimulations. And the withdrawal isn't obvious. It shows up as emotional numbness, low motivation, and cognitive fatigue. But the brain's adaptation is very real. The tolerance trap: just like with substances, the brain builds tolerance to dopamine. That means you need more stimulation for the same effect. So you scroll longer, snack more often, or binge watch deeper into the night, all of which further overload your neural circuits. Research 3. In 2023, researchers at the Max Planck Institute found that digital dopamine stacking elevated cortisol levels and reduced executive functioning in just 10 days of exposure. Participants had trouble completing goal-oriented tasks and reported persistent low mood. That's not just habit, it's neurochemical disruption. The long-term cost unchecked dopamine stacking may contribute to executive dysfunction, increased risk of depression and anxiety, impaired memory and attention, chronic procrastination, loss of intrinsic motivation. And because the changes are gradual, most people don't realize what's happening until they feel completely burnt out. Dopamine fasting versus dopamine reset. There's been hype around dopamine fasting as a cure, but neuroscience suggests that it's not about total deprivation. It's about restoring balance. You don't need to give up everything pleasurable. You need to stop stacking and allow single sources of joy to stand on their own. A dopamine reset is about spacing out stimuli and choosing intentional rewards, not quitting fun cold turkey. Action plan: how to break the stack. Monotasking is your friend. Do one thing at a time. Eat without scrolling. Walk without listening to a podcast. Train your brain to derive satisfaction from single sources. Timebox your high dopamine activities. Set specific windows for things like social media, video games, or streaming. Don't let them bleed into your day. Schedule boredom. Build in time for nothing, literally. Boredom allows your brain to reset and resensitize to pleasure. Focus on deep work and flow-pick tasks that require full attention and allow you to get into flow. These naturally regulate dopamine in a healthy way. Reconnect with nature and movement. Both help stabilize dopamine and reduce the need for artificial stimulation. Use dopamine to build habits, not escape. Train your brain to associate dopamine with growth-oriented actions. Exercise, learning, meaningful conversation, creation, not just consumption. Your brain isn't broken, it's overwhelmed. And the good news: you can reset. You don't need to quit the modern world, you just need to stop stacking. When you start being intentional with your attention, dopamine becomes your ally again, not your enemy. So if this video helped you understand your brain a little better, do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe. And more importantly, try just one of the action steps this week. Let your brain breathe. Let your mind focus. And feel what it's like to enjoy one thing at a time. You'll be amazed at how much motivation and clarity come back. Thanks for watching.